welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark. We just slept to recover most of our fatigue to get the worst part of the night behind us. Now we're going to go out and see how bad the weather is.
I might have to drop some gear.
Okay, so it's cold, but the weather isn't too bad. We'll probably work with this. We will need to start a fire to cook that fish. Technically didn't need to use the torch trick, I could have just started the fire. I need to remember that I now have fire starting 5. I'm too used to the sub 5 loop.
Come on.
So we are going to want to get warm. The only way to reliably do that is probably going to throw 2 pieces of coal on that fire. We're going to cook this ruined fish. Okay, that'll be ready in 33 minutes. We probably want some water, so let's actually start up a big pot of water. And then we'll try to be productive at that time. So we can repair, or we can sharpen the axe. And that might be the only productive thing we have going for us right now. Yeah. I don't think I have the cloth on hand. I have a little cloth on it. I don't have a lot of the cloth on hand to do a bunch of clothing repairs. Probably the underwear is actually what probably deserves it the most. In fact, I've got enough to do the underwear repair. Let's do the underwear repair. There we go. Less have to worry about it going away. We'll eat some fish, which forgot to check on how bad the scurry risk was, and apparently it wasn't that bad because that got rid of it. And it's back. Okay, so we're right on the scurry risk edge is probably where we are right now, which is arguably a place you kind of want to be. Otherwise, you're basically probably overeating fish. So I don't need these many torches, but we're gonna take these out. We're gonna go on our way with a bunch of lit torches to try to deliver first car battery to Misanthrope. The weather looks decent, so with a lit torch to protect us from wolves, because there's a decent possibility we'll run into wolves between here and Misanthrope. Drop off our first battery.
Feels like a lot of gear.
I'll probably take a detour back to Quonset to drop off the woodworking tools, because I don't need them on me anymore, and I shouldn't have taken it with me to Desolation Point, but I did. And that'll save us another kilogram, make us a little bit faster for the second trip. And then if everything goes well, we'll have delivered all the batteries to our destination in this part. And if not, that will probably be how we start the next part, in the next stream, with delivering the last battery. So we'll see how long it takes to do a full round trip due to the battery making us slow. We're only 12 kilograms overweight. We're gonna walk like a really tired person. And what I probably picked up from cooking 0.07 liters. So we'll drop off the 0.07 liters of lantern oil as well on this trip. Well, we'll need to make more. In fact, that'll probably be most of what next stream is. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I tend to stream the recording sessions live. And if you're watching this on Twitch, then you presumably know that. If you're watching this on Twitch and the video quality isn't super great for a given part, it may make sense to wait until it gets put up on YouTube. On YouTube, it should always be 1080p with no frames drop. On Twitch, I have it set up so that it shouldn't drop frames, but as a side effect, if the internet isn't necessarily playing along, it will throttle the quality. So if you're not getting particularly great quality on Twitch, that's what's happening, is to keep your frame rate stable. It's having to play a little bit with the stream quality, which is sadly something I don't really have any control over. But if you're watching on Twitch and like I don't really like the stream quality, well, you can always watch it later on YouTube and get better quality. You just have to wait for it. Because I record it locally, so the stuff I'm uploading to YouTube will be the local quality and not the streamed quality. But yeah, stream it live as I record it.
I'm not going to be able to carry
I suppose that's
this
one
load for
thing
much
that
longer.
you kind of have an advantage of if you're watching it on Twitch is, while I'm not necessarily the most responsive to Twitch chat, I do glance at OBS fairly often. If I see your chat in OBS, I will generally try to give you a call out, at least on what you're saying, maybe not necessarily on your name, because I don't want to butcher anyone's name if possible. Oh, here's some fish from previous time through, so let's eat the fish. Get some calories. Oh, and we even get to leave some fish behind. That's convenient. And Discovery Risk has been pushed back once again. It's probably going to come back in a little bit, but for the moment it's gone. Okay, this torch is going to provide us very little time, but it will provide us some time. Right now I don't see any wolves between where we are and where we're going. They could just be around the corner there, behind the rocks, and the torch will help wolves come across wolves. Crows are circling around the naturally spawned, well, procedurally spawned carcass there. So that carcass isn't always there. It'll be based on your interloper seed. But if it is there, it will be there until you interact with it. So right now I kind of have it set up as sort of a lazy crow feathers farm, where I can just walk by and pick up crow feathers, because I don't really need the deer hide. I don't need the guts. And carcasses that have been out for quite a while are usually pretty bad. Well, the environmentally spawned ones are pretty bad sources of meat. They tend to only have like a kilogram of meat, which is barely going to refund the calorie cost of harvesting the hides and guts off of them. So I tend not to harvest them for their meat value. I only really harvest them for their hides and guts value, and at the moment I don't need them. So that one's just more valuable just having it there as a way to walk by and pick up feathers, which is why I'm leaving it there and not interacting with it. But once you interact with it, make sure to harvest it, because it does start to decay. So if you take anything off of it, unless it's like an emergency reason, like you've taken the meat off of it because you need the meat, try to take everything off of it, right? So I don't need the guts and the hide, and I don't need the meat, so I'm not interacting with it. But if I needed those, any of those, I'd take everything off of it if I could. Good reason. And those spawn all over the place. They're technically procedurally seeded, right? So I think there's like 4 different seeds. So I think that guy's there something like 1/4 the time. And if your seed has him there, he will always be there until you interact with him. So, but he's been there probably since episode 1. We probably walked past him in episode 1. Well, actually, no. Well, it sort of walked past him. Would have been following the road in episode 1. I think the episode 1 ended in Quonset. So we probably could have seen him from the road. And we didn't have the tools in episode 1 to make use of the carcass yet. we'll drop the battery off, we'll drop the little bit of lantern oil off. We'll probably go warm up in Misanthrope. I don't need to take the trip over to the fishing hut anymore, because we were able to eat that fish that I left next to the car there, and we'll probably actually eat it on the way back out again, because we didn't finish the fish. But because of that, we don't need to take the detour to the fishing hut right away. But yeah, we'll warm up Misanthrope, we'll head over to Quonset, probably warm up in Quonset after we drop off the woodworking tools a bit. And then we'll make the double back to get the final battery. And then we'll just be making the lantern oil. Okay, there we go. So we still need more car battery, still need more lantern oil. So I think once you've deposited something in there, it doesn't let you pick it up from it. Right, so you can see the stuff that was there from prior was grayed out. But the stuff I just dropped off was not, so I could have undone dropping something off if I had accidentally dropped something I didn't want to drop. I think how they have it balanced. So we're going to duck in here. I'm going to put the torch out because we're going to basically just pass time for an hour. I suppose I could take these back to Quonset as well. We got the carrying capacity right now because we are prepped for walking with the battery. And we're not walking with, obviously. So, hydrate the character. We're just going to pass time for whatever it takes to get to basically full warmth, and we'll head out. Okay, a little bit of chilly, because it's just before midday. Okay. Managed to sort of billy goat down the cliff there, without taking any damage, or any sprained ankles or anything. So we should make some really good time getting into Quonset. Don't necessarily appreciate the fog rolling in, but the fog isn't bad as far as weather is concerned, as long as you know where you're going. Okay, got a wolf on the forward left there. Which, if I can, I would prefer to avoid running into. Peeking to my right to make sure I'm not running into bear. Because basically wolves and bears are what I'm worried about running into here. In the Interloper, I haven't run into timber wolves spawning down here yet. I know on Stalker they can. People have definitely reported them spawning down here on Stalker, but I haven't seen them in Interloper yet. That doesn't mean they don't. It might just be that they're just very rare. And yeah, Timberwolves would definitely make blizzards far scarier, because they're one of the few things that can spawn during blizzards. And this was Memento Cache, did last stream, I think. So my voice would have still probably been better than it is currently, but was still good last stream. Was starting to feel the beginning of the cold at that point, but hadn't reached my voice box at the time yet. Alright, so before I forget, one of the things we came back here to do is to leave behind the woodworking tools on the woodworking bench, so we can use the woodworking bench when I need to next time, and not be all panic of where are my tools. I could leave those behind. I'm not going to be doing any mapping. Oh, I should leave. I'll probably put these in the cabinet here. Leave the birch and the maple, and leave the bear hide. Oh, that reminds me, I probably have a note saying I had a bear hide someplace that isn't a bear hide place anymore. So it's Desolation Point, so it's not that one. Not that one. Okay, well, I didn't leave a note about it, so that's kinda bad, but good news is I've now put it somewhere, so let's leave a note. Has a bear hide now. Trying to see if there's anything else I want to modify what I'm thinking about. I think the hammer's still there, so I think we're good with modifying for the most. Let's get en route, warm the character back up, possibly by sitting there contemplating what we need to do. I don't need to take charcoal with me, so we'll save a little bit of weight. Leaving charcoal behind, we'll pick it up later. And yeah, I think I'll take the rest with me for safety reasons. So based on the timing, we should be able to just about drop off the second battery, and then probably slip into the cabin of a misanthrope to end the part up. So that will leave... Well, that'll basically make this stream session. So if you're watching this on Twitch, the whole stream session will have basically been delivering all 3 batteries. If you're watching on YouTube, the stream session will have been about 4 parts long, so if you're missing any of the earlier battery delivery parts, they'll be in earlier parts. Alright, so we just delivered one this stream, or this part. And I think it was 3 episodes ago, where based on information from the wiki, the information on the wiki is for Stalker difficulty, apparently. Based on information from the wiki, I thought we only needed 1. After correcting myself down from the cliff that was, I thinking needed 10. Apparently, the answer is somewhere between the 2 extremes. It's 3. We need to deliver 3. So I delivered the 1, realized it was 3, and then concocted the concept of, okay, well, we'll go look in Desolation Point for batteries. Planning to go through all the cars in Desolation Point and find, like, 1 battery. We got lucky. We didn't look... Well, we looked in a couple cars, but they weren't in the cars. They were... one was in... one was in the warehouse, and one was in the guard post to the entry to the warehouse. So we started the process of working those back down to Misanthrope for completing our quest. And I'll try to hold off on having another quest like that, because I don't know where I'm going to get the next 3 batteries. I would like to progress some of the other stuff around the island. And to be fair, the quest isn't done, because I'm still going to have to get 3 liters of cooking, or not, 3 liters of lantern oil. Which isn't a completely trivial thing to do. That will be quite a bit of fishing. It'll be something like 30 fish. take a short detour here, because you can see coming down the road is a bear. And I think our character would prefer not getting his face mauled by a bear. And he's not in a particularly great spot to harass with the bow and arrow. And I got things to do that don't involve cooking bear meat right now, so I don't actually want to kill the bear right now. That may be something we look towards in the next part, because 20 kilograms of bear meat off, or 20 kilograms of meat off the bear would be a good thing to put in the drying box. But I don't want to take the time right this episode, because that would basically eat the rest of the episode. Hunting, killing, and harvesting the bear. And at this point, I kind of want to finish my train of thought, so I don't have time to forget it before the next part, or the next stream. So assuming the cold doesn't get worse, there probably will be another part up for you if you're watching this on YouTube tomorrow, because I probably will have recorded and streamed the next part by then. Because that will be 4-something days in the future. If you're watching on Twitch, I think the stream right now will be 4 days in the, well, I suppose 3 days-ish in the future, right? So tomorrow will probably be, and this is tomorrow on Twitch. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is, at this point, this would be in your past. Tomorrow will probably be Shadow Empire, and then the day after will be Against the Storm. And I have recorded 4 parts, so maybe it'll either be Factorio the 3rd day, and this will be the 4th day, or this will be the 3rd day. We'll see how the other streams go before I decide when we have a Factorio day, or if this is the 3rd day. So if you're watching on Twitch, look for when I update 3 days out from now. I'll either get updated to Factorio, in which case this will be the 4th day. Which will probably be the day that this episode goes live. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I will either have just streamed what will be tomorrow's episode, well, yeah, just streamed what will be tomorrow's episode, or, well, stream recorded what was tomorrow's episode, or will be stream recording it that night. Which, if editing and stuff works out as it should be, then that will be published the following day. So,
my fingers feel numb.
Behind the scenes sort of stuff being revealed for YouTube and Twitch audience. Being a little careful, because I know there is at least one wolf out here, and unless they've really changed up the spawning mechanics, there's usually 2 wolves out here in Crumbling Highway. Annoyingly, Crumbling Highway and Coastal Highway share the same name. They share the same acronyms. It's CH and CH. Coastal Highway. Coastal starts with C. And Crumbling starts with C. At least Crumbling Highway is the transition zone, so... Would have probably taken a moment there to warm up a bit. But I think we're good just to walk on through. We'll take a little bit of condition damage, probably doing the road to Misanthrope Island walk. Sort of go off-road there. But we got condition damage that we can spare right now, because we're about to probably gonna be taking a fairly long rest at some point in this character's near future. And then we're going to do a fishing trip, which is a very good way to not take any condition damage, well, take minimal condition damage, and burn a lot of fatigue, so you can then sleep for a very long time, get a lot of condition damage back. So we'll be full health in short time. Right, we can lose that condition damage because we're going to get that condition back. We lose it because we're going to get it back.
I need to drop something.
Just want to keep the character above 60% so we don't accidentally get within like a risk range where we die to a wolf or something. This deep into a series, that would be disappointing. I know I would be disappointed, so I don't want to disappoint you as the viewer.
Die if I don't warm up soon.
Okay, so I'm going to take advantage of this fish here. There wasn't much on the fish anyway, but I'll rise a little bit of calories. And hopefully I'll successfully file away in my mind that there's no longer fish there. Which shouldn't be that hard, because I didn't remember there being fish there when I ran across fish the first time, so... I think it was during an aurora. I wanted some calories, so we cooked up the fish during the aurora. And we didn't actually have enough hunger to eat the whole fish. Which is reasonable, that happens. And because of the aurora, I didn't want to be attracting all the nibbly wolves and bears to me, so I left the fish behind. So that's why the fish was there. And I think that was a fish from beachcombing, so it was like a big 5 kilogram fish when it was cooked originally. Which is why it survived being nibbled on twice. It didn't survive the third time. So I suppose one thing I could be trying to do here is I could be trying to walk far closer to the coast, and then we might get a little bit lucky with some beachcombing. Things we are on this sort of lookout for beachcombing is more cloth, and things we can turn into cloth. So there's a bunch of clothing that can occasionally wash ashore, and often when it washes ashore, it's ruined, right? So it's just stuff you can disassemble for cloth or leather. But that could be useful, right? So the recipe that we're trading for right now required 8 cloth to trade for. That would have been a lot more. Well, that's affordable if you're collecting it from beachcombing. It's maybe not affordable if your only way of getting it is harvesting it from depletable sources, which is actually where I think most of what I just turned in earlier to meet the recipe requirement was from. So finding some renewable cloth is never bad. Even if it's just you're putting the item aside later for you to disassemble, it's never a bad thing. Yeah, and I think fish had been holed out there when I was taking a trip out to Desolation Point, so I'd been doing some beachcombing on the way out there. So I basically did the opposite of what I suggested I could be doing, which is I could be going along the beach. Or, no, well, I say beach. Going along the transition from ice to sea and harvesting any of the stuff that looks good along the way. And in that case, though, I could have probably found a 5 kilogram fish, right? Which probably at the time was ruined, because they come out ruined, but it's 5 kilograms of fish. Okay, so we're dropping off battery 3, so battery 3 will be there, cloth's there, we just need to get the 3 liters of lantern oil. I'm gonna go feed the character. In this circumstance, I'm actually going to go do some sprinting to save the character a little bit of condition. When I feed the character to get fed, get his calories full. And then I'm going to go warm him up in one of the cabins, which is where we'll end the part. And the next part, we'll probably come back down to the fishing hut and start fishing. But that'll be based on the weather, probably. If we got really good weather, I might actually spend it gathering fuel to cook with instead. Because what we need is to cook oil out of the fish, right? We don't actually need more fish. We got plenty of fish. We just need oil that is not in my irreplaceable jerry can to hand over. Because yeah, you can't give him oil from your jerry can and then get your jerry can back. He will keep your jerry can. And you gotta hand over full items, so I can't hand him part of my jerry can. So I need to make another 2.93 liters of oil. Which the easiest way to do that is going to just be a bunch of fishing. Well, the easiest way to do that does not hand over the jerry can is a bunch of fishing. If I just handed the jerry can over, it'd be done. Okay, I'm not necessarily optimal from a sleeping standpoint, or from a fatigue standpoint. But I'm going to have the character sleep for an hour. That way, if the weather stays good, we can take advantage of it. Oh, that's saw the cap there. Don't worry, it's saved, practically saved. So I hope you've been enjoying it. If you have, check back in tomorrow if you're watching on YouTube, or on Twitch in 3 to 4 days for the next part. Until then, I hope you have a good time. Catch you in the next part. Bye for now.